Hello everyone! If you have just arrived here and you have no idea of who I am, my name is Andressa Maia. I teach Brazilian Portuguese and I am from Rio de Janeiro. You can follow me on Instagram to get more tips about Brazilian Portuguese. You can also book a private lesson with me, or you can simply buy me a coffee to support my work if you like my videos and find me a nice person. Now, in this video, I want to talk about something that is an issue, although it shouldn't be an issue, which is safety in Rio de Janeiro. Now, I really get a little bit annoyed when I hear my students saying that they were excited planning a trip to Rio de Janeiro, but then they got afraid and gave up because they heard someone that's not from Rio de Janeiro telling that they shouldn't come here because it is too dangerous. I'm so excited. I'm planning a trip to Rio de Janeiro. Are you crazy? You should not go there. It's so dangerous. Whoa, really? How many times have you been there? What happened? Oh no, I've never been there, but I watch the news. Oh, right. So my point is, are there things that you should be aware of and, take precautions? Yes, of course. But is it that dangerous that you should avoid visiting? No, not at all. And this coming from a person that has lived the past almost 32 years in Rio de Janeiro. Now, you must know that there is the state of Rio de Janeiro and there is the city of Rio de Janeiro, which is the capital of the state. I've lived in 5 different cities inside the state of Rio: Nova Iguaçu, Nilópolis, Niterói, São Gonçalo, and Itaboraí. And also, I have also lived in the city of Rio de Janeiro. It's where I live now. I live in a neighborhood called Campo Grande, but I have also lived in Cascadura, Piedade. I have studied for 3 years in a neighborhood called Maracanã. I have worked for 8 years in the neighborhood called Barra da Tijuca, and for a long period of my life, I was living in Nilópolis, studying in Niterói, and working in Barra da Tijuca, which got me literally crossing the whole city every single day, using the subway, bus, and also a boat to get to work and to get home and to get to the university. So, what I'm trying to say is, I kinda know a little bit the place where I live. And that's why I want to share my experience with you and give you some tips to help you keep safe in Rio and enjoy your trip, not being terrified of how dangerous Rio is. Now, the time when I was robbed, I was in the city of São Gonçalo. It was not even in the city of Rio de Janeiro, okay? I was returning from the doctor and I took a bus that I was used to take almost every day, and it would be a 15-20 minute trip from the doctor to my house. I was sitting next to the back door. Many buses here have 2 doors, one near the driver, which is the one you enter the bus, and one near the back of the bus, and you need to leave the bus through this back door. And I was sitting next to this back door, next to the window as well. I was distracted on my phone. So this was my first mistake, okay? I was totally distracted. It was around 4:35 p.m., so the day was light, and I was on my phone, and all of a sudden the girl next to me put her phone under her thigh, on the seat, and I was like, what is she doing? And then I realized and decided to look around, and I saw one guy next to the driver pointing a gun to the other passengers and saying, pass me the money and the cell phone, pass me the money and the cell phone. And then I got terrified, because I had my cell phone in my hands and I was like, I cannot lose my phone, I need it to work. But then I thought, if I just put my phone under my thigh, he can ask me to stand, and if he says I tried to hide my phone, he will get mad. And if there is something you don't want, is to make a thief mad in Rio de Janeiro. So I was wearing a dress, I wasn't wearing jeans, so I put my phone inside my panties. Yes, you've got to survive, okay? I put my phone inside my pants and I thought, well, if I stand, the phone stands with me and he can't see it. So that's what I did. And then I opened my purse and I took the money and I was just holding the money in my hands to make his life easier. And all this time, I didn't realize that he had a partner that was standing next to my seat. So I was like, oh no, did he see that I hid my phone? But fortunately he didn't, because you know what, robbers, they are nervous, they are on a hurry, they just want to do what they need to do quickly because they are afraid of being caught. And he also had a gun and he was looking at the other passengers asking for their money and phone. And then when the guy that was near the driver approached us, he said, money and cell phone. And then I gave the money I had in my hands. And the girl also gave me the money she had in her hands. And they said, where is the phone? And I opened my purse and I said, that's all I have. And then he said, stand. And then we both stood and he saw her phone on the seat. And obviously he didn't see mine. And then he got mad at her. And instead of only taking her money, he took her bag with all her documents. And that was bad, because they are not really interested in your documents. He just did it like to teach her a lesson, like, are you trying to trick me? So he took her phone, he took her bag, and then they were next to the back door and they just left the bus. And fortunately, all I lost was 5 reals. They didn't want my purse, they didn't see my cell phone, and that's how it ended. But going through this experience taught me a few lessons, and that's why I want to share with you 5 tips to help you keep safe in Rio, avoid bad situations, and enjoy your trip, okay? Tip number 1, pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't be too distracted. Many cases of robberies in Rio, they are not real like robberies where people point a gun to you, especially in the touristic areas. There are lots of people just observing because they know there are many tourists walking there, and they just want to, take advantage of someone who's distracted, not paying attention, using their phone or something. So just observe if you are being followed, if there is someone suspicious watching people too much. Simply pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't walk on the street totally distracted, taking pictures or walking on your cell phone. Just don't do this. Pay attention, okay? Tip number 2 is don't make yourself a target. You don't want attention. You want to be able to walk around without people looking at you and thinking, ha, that's a tourist. Because you know what robbers think. Tourist means money. Tourist means expensive cell phones, expensive accessories. So you don't want to look like a tourist, having a camera hanging on your neck and wearing expensive and fancy clothes. Just keep it simple. Don't wear jewelry, don't wear expensive watches or, things that can bring the attention to you. And especially, don't walk around exhibiting your iPhone. iPhones in Brazil are expensive. iPhones are very expensive. And yes, people would rob you just for your iPhone. So just avoid using it in the middle of the street. I do it with my simple cell phone. If I'm on the street and I really need to look at my phone, I always go into a drugstore. a pharmacy or a supermarket or a restaurant. I just get into some place, then I take a look at my phone if I need to answer a message or something, and then I put it back in my bag, and then I go to the streets again. So avoid attention over you, okay? Tip number 3 is use the subway, avoid taking a bus, and take an Uber whenever it's possible. Now, the subway is quite safe and it can take you to the main touristic points in Rio. In the touristic area, there is subway to probably all the places you will need to go. But also, Uber in Rio is very cheap. So you can even go by Uber because you can order an Uber from your Airbnb, your hotel, wherever you are, or if you are at a restaurant, so you can order the Uber, stay inside the place where you are, and only when the Uber arrives, then you go to the street, and then you can get to the place you are going safely. It's the best option, especially if you are going out in the evening, if you're going out at night. Many people who come to Rio like to go to Lapa, okay? If you go out at night, just take an Uber back your place. Don't try to walk, don't try to look for a bus, don't take an Uber. That's it. Simple like that. Just take an Uber, okay? Tip number 4 is don't keep anything in your back pocket. Anything. People could come and pick up your wallet or your cell phone from your back pocket and you wouldn't even notice, or when you notice, they would be far away. And the idea is don't even keep anything important inside your pockets, any pockets at all. One good advice is if you really need to go out with money and it's a huge amount of money, if you only have cash, you can put it inside your shoes. If you are going out at night, you are probably not wearing flip-flops, so you can put it inside your sock, inside your shoes, or even inside your underwear. And just put like a few notes and a few, change inside the pocket, because in case you get robbed, you take the money you have in your pockets, just few notes, and then you give it to the robber, but the huge amount is safe inside your underwear or inside your shoes. And if possible, have an extra cheap phone just for you to go around and call people if you need, answer messages. But your real important cell phone, if possible, keep at the place you are staying. This is something that I want to do. I need an extra cheap phone because I cannot risk losing my phone again. And finally, tip number 5, try to learn Portuguese before you come to visit, because you won't really find people speaking English fluently on the streets, even in restaurants or shops. And it's obvious that it's easier to take advantage on you if they see you cannot understand anything people around are talking about and you cannot communicate. So knowing how to communicate, even if it is to get help, if you end up going through a bad situation and you just need quick help from someone that is passing by, you need to be able to communicate. And with this, I can help you because, as I said, I teach Brazilian Portuguese. You can watch some of my other videos. I have many tips about Brazilian Portuguese here in the channel. And if you are really planning a trip to Rio or to Brazil, any other state, and you want to be able to communicate, you can message me, you can book a private lesson with me, and I will be more than happy to help you with that. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment here and tell me if you have ever been to Rio and if you had a good or a bad experience. Tell me if you like these tips, if you are planning a trip to Rio and you are actually afraid because you think it's too dangerous. Just let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!